I'm going to give you a list of 10 natural anti-inflammatory foods that prevent cancer. Not only do they prevent it, but they also help with treatment, okay? So stay with me until the end. The last one is the most important, perhaps the most effective. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the little bell to activate notifications. Leave a like. And it's mainly for you who have chronic inflammation in your body. And it's for you who have a family history of cancer. So without further ado, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of a list that will act directly on prevention, shall we? Talk about good stuff now. First, anti-cancer food. Turmeric. This root has been used in both American and Chinese medicine. It's been used for centuries, and Western medicine has surrendered to its good results in improving health, and it has become the subject of scientific studies. You can find turmeric in root or powder form. It is the same as turmeric. It contains the active ingredient called curcumin. It acts on the body like a garbage collector. It removes what we call free radicals from the circulation. This is the waste produced by cells. Each teaspoon of this spice you use to prepare your food, or you can make a shot, which is a dose in the morning. Each spoonful of this absorbs amino acids, vitamin C, vitamin E, minerals such as calcium, even Apoptosis will do, potassium, iron. Turmeric has anti-inflammatory properties. Antibacterial, it kills bacteria. Antifungal, it helps balance cholesterol levels. And some studies have evaluated its neuroprotective effect in cases of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, people with arthritis, arthrosis, muscle pain. When they use this spice on a daily basis, they feel an improvement in the condition caused by these pains. With regard to cancer, it still needs further study regarding its effect on this disease. However, turmeric has shown positive results in the prevention and treatment of leukemia, gastrointestinal tumors, breast tumors, women, ovarian tumors, and a few others. Second is green tea. Among many different phytochemicals, the one that stands out the most in green tea is epigallocatechin 3rd galactate, also known as EGCG. It's also found in aloe vera. This is a polyphenol with proven biochemical action against cancer. This is associated with a lower risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, leukemia, and other cancers. Dayan, how many cups a day can I drink? A study of Japanese women with breast tumors who had not yet metastasized showed that those who consumed 3 cups a day, they reduced their risk of relapse by 57%. The third food is red fruit. Red fruits like blackberries, blueberries, jaboticaba, pomegranates, or acai, without sugar, of course, right? These fruits contain substances called anthocyanins. They cause the cancer cell to commit suicide in a process called apoptosis. They also contain elastic acid. This compound has been studied for its probable anti-cancer properties, and this acid reduces the risk of malignancy in esophageal tumors and intestinal tumors. It induces the death of cancer cells by stimulating the action of detox enzymes, which remove cancer cells. This mechanism reduces resistance. It makes the tumor weaker. Tumors that are being treated with chemotherapy and gamma radiation. Acerola is in our 4th food group. These are citrus fruits. Acerola, lemon, and orange. These are the best known and excellent sources of vitamin C. Remember, oranges aren't juice, they're food, and they act directly on the immune system. They are also antioxidants. They act in the synthesis of collagen, carnitine, and the formation of neurotransmitters. So you'll be smarter with a better memory. These fruits have vitamin C. They are essential for chemotherapy patients. Why is that? Because they prevent or at least reduce nausea, which is one of the most common side effects of the treatment. And according to the Brazilian Journal of Cancerology, I'm not the one saying it, in an Inca publication, research suggests that a high intake of vitamin C may reduce the risk of stomach cancer because this vitamin neutralizes free radicals and the formation of N-nitroso compounds in the stomach. which are potentially carcinogenic. The fifth food is garlic. Garlic is high in vitamin A and vitamin C. These are nutrients that help the immune system function properly, right? In addition to these vitamins, garlic contains a large amount of antioxidants, like selenium. Did you know that? Garlic is good for the thyroid, allicin, which is an antibiotic, quercetin, which helps protect against damage related to infections and aging. The allicin that gives garlic its smell, it acts by scavenging free radicals, right? Repairing the damage caused by oxidation and apoptosis, the rest of the cell death apoptosis caused in the cells. Allicin also helps with cancer cell death, and research carried out in southern European countries found a link between the amount of garlic eaten and a reduction in the risk of developing certain types of cancer. And the sixth food is tomatoes. Tomatoes contain a substance called lycopene. It has an antioxidant action. It helps to reduce the production of free radicals because of this amount of antioxidants. And because lycopene is a very important substance, many nutritionists recommend tomatoes to prevent certain types of cancer, like prostate cancer. And tomatoes should be eaten every day. You can consume it in the form of a sauce. You can make a tomato sauce. When you make the sauce, you increase the concentration of lycopene. So in this prepared homemade sauce, the substance, the lycopene, comes out of the tomato. It stays there in the saute. Homemade tomato sauce is so good, people. Lycopene, it currently appears to be one of the most powerful antioxidants, and it's suggested to prevent cancer. Atherosclerosis, which is the obstruction of the arteries. It protects. Why does it prevent arteries from clogging? Because it protects molecules such as fat, low-density lipoproteins, LDL, proteins and DNA. Seventh food, dark green vegetables. Green vegetables, like broccoli, cabbage, and spinach. They contain various components that help prevent diseases. Folic acid, for example, it helps in the production of white blood cells, which is our defense system. It fights disease, it fights invading agents, and sulfur compounds, which comes from sulfur, which helps with liver detoxification. Everything green cleanses the liver. Studies show that people who eat a lot of green vegetables, orange vegetables, red vegetables, and yellow vegetables, have a significantly reduced risk of various types of cancer. And part of this protective effect is due to the carotenoids. Most people are familiar with the carotenoid beta-carotene, which is found in carrots. But there are hundreds of other carotenoids, like the lutein in spinach. Eighth food. I brought this here to show you. I've put it on the cover of the video. It's a cashew nut, but it represents oil seeds, which are rich in vitamin E, which helps with control. Vitamin E, it even helps fight low immunity. And these nuts are rich in minerals, fiber, healthy fats, and fatty acids. But it's important to be careful. Why is that? Because if you eat too much, and that's a lot of calories, you'll put on weight. Another thing, the box of para. The recommendation is that you eat it 2 a day. Is that right? 2, the fatty acids, which are in these foods, in the boxes, in oil seeds, have a possible action in the prevention and or in the treatment of cancer. Mainly breast cancer, prostate, colon, and also in the treatment of depression and Alzheimer's disease. These oil seeds, they work to reduce clogging of the arteries, what we call atherosclerosis, and they have anti-inflammatory activity, anticoagulant, and anti-aggregant. In other words, the blood doesn't curdle. Eating oleaginous nuts makes your blood clot less, and these substances that are in these nuts participate in the synthesis of hemoglobin, which is the protein that carries oxygen throughout your body. They also participate in the transmission of nerve impulses, and they improve brain function. Ninth food, oily fish, salmon, and sardines. But salmon is expensive, my love. Eat sardines. It's cheap. I'm not talking about canned sardines, frozen sardines. You buy a packet, it lasts more than a week. Salmon and sardines have omega-3. These help the arteries not to become inflamed. if you have a history of heart disease in your family, these foods modulate immunity. So what is modulating immunity? It doesn't make you hyperreactive, and it doesn't leave you with low immunity. When you have hyperreactive immunity, you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have lupus, you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Then omega-3 helps to cool down this inflammation. Omega-3, the fatty acids, substances that cannot be produced by us. They have to be ingested through food because they have great anti-inflammatory power, and they are essential for maintaining the immune system. And now we come to the 10th and final food, one of the tastiest foods in the world. It's one of the best desserts. It's better than ice cream. You can do everything with it. You can eat it. It can be used to make juice. You can make tea from the leaf. In the United States, there are already capsules of this substance. Whoever said Graviola was right. Guys, I have some Graviola trees on my farm. But let me confess something to you. I can hardly eat it because everyone eats before me. Someone always comes by to eat. But let me tell you something. I used to think that Graviola was only good for juice until one day I picked up a cold Graviola. People, you won't understand. I challenge anyone here who hasn't done it to do so. Take a cold Graviola, break it open and eat it with a fork. Boy, there's no ice cream tastier than that. And you don't have to make ice cream, do you? You don't have to. You just eat the Graviola. It's too good, boy. But it's still too sweet, isn't it? It's sweet, but it has fiber. You're chewing it all. It won't all go into your circulation. It'll go in more slowly, okay? So Graviola has been researched in the fight against cancer. It's one of the fruits that's been researched the most, okay? It's used for everything. The fruit is nutritious, as are its leaves, roots, and bark.
Everything has medicinal properties that treat infection, fever, digestive problems, diarrhea, high blood pressure, parasites, and roundworms. Everything has properties. It helps with diabetes, right? It's also a rich source of vitamins and minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and phosphorus. Helps lower blood pressure, zinc. Graviola helps improve nails, copper, vitamin C, BI, BII, BII, BVI, and folate.
And research on cells and mice shows that the plant extract, guys, it's not with humans, it's with mice. But it showed that the Graviola extract was effective against 12 types of cancer. 12, including colon cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, and pancreatic cancer. Guys, of these 5, pancreas is one of the most malignant, most deadly. And the other 4 are the most common. Colon, breast, prostate, lung. So these anti-tumor substances in Graviola are acetogenins. These are compounds found only in Ananaceae, which is the Graviola family. I'm not from the Siebra family. Graviola is from the Ananaceae family. And the extract of this fruit, the extract of the seed and the leaves, killed cancer cells up to 10,000 times more than the medication used in chemotherapy, because they prevented the cells from growing and multiplying. However, human studies have yet to be carried out to prove this effectiveness. If in doubt, just eat it. As well as the fruit, you can use the leaves, the stem, and the seed. Everything from Graviola is good. Several studies have shown this, and many people have used Graviola leaves because it contains acetogenins, which is a powerful anti-tumor agent. It fights cancer cells. And the most incredible thing is that in this fight against cancer, Graviola preserves the normal cell, something that chemotherapy doesn't do. And remember, I'm not telling you who have cancer. Give up chemotherapy. Not at all. But associated in conventional treatment, that is, in cancer treatment, you go to the hospital and only have chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and you have ice cream in the afternoon, you destroy the cancer cell, but you also end up damaging the normal cell, right? Love to you. Stay with God. A big hug. Live healthy. Live with passion, with God in your heart, and thank you for your presence, okay? Thanks, guys.